Here's the trap: foods with earthy colors, slick packaging, and words like natural or fit. You trust them. You pick them for yourself or your kids. But when nutrition professionals shop, some of these never make it into their carts. Why? Turns out the label hides more than it shows. Added sugars, engineered sweetness, and sneaky salt that clog your health under the radar. Stick with me because in this countdown of 7 so-called health staples, you'll see exactly what tricks are at play and what safer swaps you can count on instead. Number 1, granola. You think granola is the poster child of wellness. Oats, nuts, dried fruit, that soft crunch people link with energy and balance. But here's the truth. The glossy clusters in most bags are glued together with syrups, oils, and sugar that undo the very image you're buying into. The package shows mountains, surfers, and yoga mats, but inside it's closer to a dessert blend than a clean breakfast. Granola is powerful marketing wrapped in oats. The wellness image works because it taps into the idea of morning ritual, calm starts, clean eating, and smarter choices. Yet when you flip the box, the story stalls. Long ingredient lists start with sweeteners, not grains. Added honey, brown sugar, or corn syrup can outweigh the handful of oats you thought were doing the heavy lifting. Oils go in to keep clusters shiny and crunchy on the shelf, not to strengthen your body. And here's the kicker. Sit down with a healthy bowl, and you can swallow more sugar than you'd find in a glazed donut. That's not a stretch, it's the way many recipes are engineered. The stuff is dense, so even modest scoops pile calories fast, while your blood sugar climbs just as hard as if you'd eaten candy. It's a strange picture. Food marketed to fuel a morning jog ends up closer to fueling a crash nap an hour later. Nutritionists see the pattern, which is why most keep supermarket granola off their list. Instead, they build simple mixes at home: plain oats, a sprinkle of nuts, and unsweetened dried fruit. It's slower to spike blood glucose, and you're in control of how sweet it gets. Think of the difference as grabbing trail mix that keeps your body moving versus grabbing cookie crumbs in disguise. So why does a breakfast food share the sugar profile of dessert? That's the red flag hiding in plain sight. Bottom line, granola can hit your bloodstream as fast and as hard as candy. And that same sweet surprise shows up in places people expect better, like yogurt. Number 2, flavored yogurt. That smooth cup with fruit swirls looks like a gut-healing snack. But what if I told you it's basically dessert in disguise? The spoonful feels comforting, the texture feels creamy, and the label often flashes words like probiotic or live cultures. Yogurt earns a reputation as a top source of calcium, something good for digestion, and a simple way to keep bones strong. That's the pedestal it sits on. Now here's the twist. Most flavored yogurts are not filled with whole fruit or simple milk. They're loaded with fruit-like syrups mixed with stabilizers to boost texture and blends of sugar designed to keep you hooked. A strawberry swirl is usually a sweetened jam product, not fresh berries. A mango label often includes concentrates and coloring agents that stand in for real fruit. When you look closer, the cup functions less like a health food and more like a dessert cup. Take a flavor like peach. You'll often find a trace of peach puree buried under cane sugar, corn syrup, and palm-sized amounts of thickeners. What looks like fruit on the lid turns out to be a tiny contribution, while spoonful after spoonful delivers the sugar load of ice cream. By the end, your body is digesting sweetened dairy with a label that implies wholesome fruit. Nutritionists see through it fast. They don't avoid yogurt completely, but flavored cups rarely end up in their bags. Instead, they buy the plain version, which is tart, and control sweetness with a small scoop of actual fruit. That option cuts the sugar spike and protects the probiotic benefit. You don't need factory syrups to make yogurt enjoyable. And here's the part that shocks people. Some flavored yogurts match the sugar hit of soda. That means what you thought was a culture-rich, gut-supporting snack functions almost like sweet milk pudding in health clothing. Bottom line, flavored yogurt is less wellness power, more candy in a cup. Speaking of disguises, look at how vegetables get twisted into junk. Number 3, veggie chips. You grab veggie chips thinking you're skipping potato chips. But here's the truth. That splash of green, orange, and red on the bag is mostly smoke and mirrors. The word veggie suggests something close to carrots or spinach. But what you're actually eating is a carefully engineered chip made from powders and starches. The fresh greenhouse imagery on the front rarely matches the formula inside. Most veggie chips start as base flours, potato starch, cornmeal, or rice. A pinch of beet powder or spinach flakes is tossed in at the end to justify the garden theme. That makes them look lighter, trendier, even smarter than old-school fried potatoes. But underneath the dye and shaping process, you're still buying a deep-fried snack. Fat and salt dominate. Vegetables barely register. Take sodium, for example. Open a serving and you'll often find the same salt punch you'd get from a classic potato chip. The oil load is also familiar, absorbed during frying to lock in that crunch. It's not the crisp of dried kale or baked zucchini. It's the uniform texture of chips built for shelf life. The green tint tricks the eye into feeling virtuous, but your body reads the lineup as standard snack fuel. Here's the kicker. These products are designed to mimic the mouthfeel of chips, not the nutrition of fresh vegetables. The process strips vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants that whole produce would actually deliver. What's left is a chip that wears a vegetable costume but moves through your system like any fried starch. It's like painting over a wall with bright colors, but leaving the cracks untouched. That garden fresh sensation fades even faster when you notice lab-added additives, preservatives, and color boosts that give the illusion of a harvest in a bag. Bottom line, veggie chips aren't vegetable replacements. They're snack chips dressed up with a paint job. And that same kind of misleading makeover hits drinks too with zero-calorie sodas. Number 4. Diet soda. You think ditching sugar for zero-calorie fizz makes your drink safe. But here's the truth. The sweeteners in diet soda don't leave your body off the hook. They still trigger taste pathways, making your brain expect sugar, and that throws your internal signals out of sync. The can may list 0 calories, but that doesn't mean 0 impact. Diet soda earned its spotlight as a better option, especially for people managing weight or trying to cut sugar for health reasons. It's sold as the smart swap for those watching blood sugar, marketed as harmless refreshment. The logic sounds clean. No calories, no direct sugar load, so no problem. But biology doesn't follow that simple math. Artificial sweeteners change the landscape of your gut bacteria. That's the community inside you that helps regulate digestion, immunity, and even mood. When those organisms are disrupted, sugar control gets messy. At the same time, your appetite signals can misfire because the body prepares for energy it never receives. That means you can feel hungrier later, making it easy to reach for more snacks or larger meals to fill the gap. And here's the kicker. Research has linked diet sodas to more cravings, patterns of metabolic confusion, and health risks even with the calorie count at 0. Think about it like this. The can promises freedom, but what it delivers is a tug-of-war between your taste buds and metabolism. You're drinking an illusion of safety. Nutritionists see this trap clearly. Instead of reaching for diet soda, they encourage options like water, sparkling water with citrus, or unsweetened teas. These hydrate without tricking your brain or gut. Small swaps reduce confusion in your system and break the cycle of craving that artificial sweetener set off. So ask yourself this. Is 0 calorie hiding a metabolic price you don't want to pay? Bottom line, the label says free, but your body still picks up the bill. Sweeteners aren't only bottled, though. They also show up in syrups marketed as natural upgrades, and that's where the next problem begins. Number 5. Agave syrup. Agave syrup looks like the safe cousin of sugar. Plant-based, earthy, poured in shiny bottles at health food shops. It wears that natural glow well, but here's the truth. The chemistry under the surface tells a very different story. Advertisers push it as a smarter option, a low glycemic sweetener that keeps your blood sugar steadier than regular sugar. That fits neatly into the wellness trend, and it shows up in recipes, coffee drinks, and even clean desserts. But dig in deeper. Agave syrup is often up to 90% fructose, far higher than table sugar. Fructose feels different inside the body because it funnels straight to the liver. And when the liver gets more than it can handle, it starts storing fat. Over time, that can edge you toward conditions like fatty liver disease and other metabolic troubles. It's less about how sweet it tastes on your tongue and more about how hard it pushes your organs when it's broken down. Think of it like trading one sharp blade for another. The calories still come in, but the stress shifts from blood sugar spikes to hidden liver strain. That strain can build silently with no immediate warning signs. By the time you notice fatigue, weight changes, or shifts in lab results, the pattern may already be in motion. Swapping white sugar for agave doesn't cancel out those risks. It just rearranges them. Nutritionists see this reality, which is why they rarely treat agave as a miracle option. In practice, they categorize it as just another form of sugar wrapped in a new costume. Whether it's stirred into tea, drizzled on pancakes, or baked into bars, it still carries the same concerns. Plant-based doesn't always equal health, and packaging from desert plants doesn't change how your body processes the sweetener. Here's the kicker. The so-called healthy sugar can actually be harder on your liver than ordinary table sugar. Bottom line, agave syrup is no upgrade, only a repackaged version of the same hidden danger. And when sugar later hides under the badge of protein marketing, the bars take the bait too. Number 6, protein bars. You grab a protein bar after workouts thinking you're fueling your muscles. But here's the truth. Many of these bars are just candy with protein dusted on top and biceps printed on the wrapper. The branding sells speed and efficiency, a quick fix for busy people who don't have time for a sit-down meal. It gives the feeling of science on the go, yet the inside often tells a far different story. The pitch is simple: portable protein. Ads show sleek graphics and active lifestyles while hinting you'll recover faster, stay leaner, or build strength by tearing open a wrapper. That story works well when you're tired, rushed, or leaving the gym. But the twist comes in the recipe. Many bars aren't mainly protein at all. They often rely on high fructose corn syrup for sweetness, palm oil for texture, and chemical flavors to mimic peanut butter or chocolate. Instead of clean recovery fuel, you end up with processed sugar blocks. Some bars rival candy in total calories while delivering weaker protein than the label implies. A chocolate-coated protein bar can climb close to the calorie load of a typical candy bar, yet most of that energy is simple carbs and added fats. That means your blood sugar spikes, insulin rises, and the supposed protein edge gets buried under fillers. It's food engineered for shelf stability, not nutrition. Now here's the kicker. The trust in functional foods cracks when you realize the bar behaves more like candy than fuel. It's like buying a fire extinguisher that sprays sugar water. The look promises safety, but the function doesn't deliver. Nutritionists know this, which is why most keep bars low on the list. Instead, they go for simple foods you recognize: a small handful of nuts, a piece of plain Greek yogurt, or even a hard-boiled egg. These supply protein without the surprise extras. Bottom line, most protein bars pack more sugar and additives than balanced protein, and the same false health signal comes straight from the juice aisle. Number 7, fruit juice. Oh, you pour a glass of juice thinking it's fruit made easy. It feels wholesome, especially at breakfast, and has been treated as a family staple for decades. But here's the truth. Strip away the fiber and structure of real fruit, and what's left is basically sugar water dressed in healthy colors. Juice built its reputation as a morning essential, even for young kids. It came packaged as a smart swap for soda, with ads suggesting vitamins in every sip. That story has stuck for years. But when you drink juice, you're skipping the chewing, the fiber, and the slow digestion whole fruit provides. That means the sugar floods straight into the bloodstream. You get the taste and calories of fruit without the balancing effect of fiber, leaving your body caught in a surge it can't slow down. And here's the kicker. Even products labeled 100% juice carry a sugar punch that rivals soda ounce for ounce. The vitamin C may sound nice, but the trade-off is a heavy load of simple sugar. Pouring a tall glass of orange juice isn't far from pouring cola when it comes to glucose response. Your blood sugar spikes fast, then dips, leaving you hungrier than if you'd eaten the fruit itself. The difference is the missing skin and pulp, what nature included to pace the energy. Nutritionists look at that equation and make a different call. Instead of juice, they pick whole fruit. An apple, a handful of grapes, or fresh orange slices fill you up while giving fiber to slow the sugar climb. Another trick is water infused with lemon, cucumber, or berries. Flavor without the sugar load. These swaps hydrate and satisfy just as fast without the hidden hit. So ask yourself, when you pour a glass of juice, is it closer to fruit or closer to soda? Bottom line, the health glow fades quickly. What lands in your cup belongs more with sweetened drinks than with whole produce. The foods that wear wellness labels can be the stealthiest traps in the store. A bright wrapper or the word natural doesn't mean safe, and nutritionists know it. Here's the truth. Added sugars, processed oils, and hidden sodium lurk behind feel-good images. You've seen how every so-called health staple twists truth into a sales pitch. The power now is yours to scan labels, question claims, and choose options that actually protect your body. Drop your guard and the system wins. Stay alert and you stay healthy. Subscribe now and I'll keep showing you what to avoid and what's actually safe.